doing things behind closed doors like Eddie Murphy, who knows me very well. You know? How well? Very well. You know? And what hurts me about him is, if anyone was after this meeting, and it will be filmed, they asked me, what do you know about Eddie Murphy? I'm not interested in destroying his life. I'm more interested in destroying his wife's life. I couldn't do that to her.
In Hollywood, it was after I did Coach Carter, and I saw Eddie Murphy and Johnny Gill tongue kissing, and this is like out in public. So a lot of the things that y'all think, they do.
Nicole Murphy is still upset with Eddie Murphy, and it has been reposted that she has some receipts pertaining to Eddie's naughty period in the 1990s, including her baby daddy's purported liaison with Puff Daddy. For years, people have talked about how much of a major playboy Eddie Murphy was, and there are rumors that he was constantly in Hollywood, going to all kinds of wild parties. Nicole Murphy is now sharing everything she endured till she was unable to bear it any longer and wanted to leave, but it turns out that they did not even know the half of it. It turns out that Eddie Murphy was out virtually every night, not only to party, but also to supposedly have S with transgender escorts and other male celebrities. He would even go so far as to approach them directly on the streets of Hollywood and ask for them. But is she being a resentful ex-wife, or is there actually any truth behind this? Well, let us get started. Now, I will not lie, it was somewhat shocking when Nicole and Eddie Murphy announced their impending divorce in 2005, because it seemed like they were in it for the long run. Remember, they first met in 1988, and practically as soon as they saw each other, they started dating. Soon after, they moved in together, and their daughter Bria was born, prior to their 1993 marriage. However, Hollywood has always been a dog-eat-dog environment, and despite the fact that they appeared to be a typical Hollywood marriage, they filed for divorce in 2005, claiming that their differences were insurmountable. They said that there was nothing else they could do but part ways because their lifestyles were simply that incompatible at that time. Nicole received a lot of criticism after their separation because it appeared that she had always been chasing his money. She received a $15 million settlement from him, but she lost everything in a plot that made her the subject of public attention after she was seen kissing Antoine Fuqua, who was married. Speaking up on the matter, Eddie Murphy claimed that Nicole's activities had shamed her family. However, Nicole was not going to passively allow such disparaging remarks about her to continue. Oh no, for a while she kept dropping little nuggets of why her marriage to Eddie ended and why she decided to maintain her last name in spite of their argument.
I always said I would drop Murphy if I get remarried. And I always get asked that question, how come you still have Murphy? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, I was married to that man for years, okay? I earned my name. I deserve my name. I have 5 children with that name. I didn't see any harm in keeping my last name.
He mentioned in his song that he enjoyed going out to parties all the time, don't you think? Furthermore, he was never able to be with one woman for very long before growing bored and leaving. Consider the course of his relationship with Whitney Houston. Robin Crawford detailed the dynamics of Eddie and Whitney Houston's relationship in her book, A Song for You, My Life with Whitney Houston. He was pursuing her 1 minute, then he lost it and became quite cruel and manipulative the next. In fact, according to Robin's book, Eddie would allegedly go out of his way to taunt Whitney and make fun of her wig and hair before they parted ways. Eddie continued to harass women after Nicole ended, and it has been said that he did the same to Mel B, pursuing her and even approaching her father to request her hand in marriage. Then he denied that their daughter was his, leaving her in the open. It was really disorganized. The fact that his daughter was born on his birthday is especially ironic. Additionally, Nicole claims that he moved in the same manner with her as he did with Whitney and Mel B, repeating the same pattern. Additionally, a number of ideas have suggested that Eddie was just with women, because if you see what I mean, he tried to hide what or who he was truly into. Numerous rumors have been circulated regarding Eddie's behavior at parties in Hollywood and elsewhere. When Eddie was stopped by police late one night in West Hollywood in 1997, he became embroiled in a scandal that almost destroyed his career. Guess who was in the car with him as he made what was meant to be a routine stop? Ada Stone Shalimar Sayuli is a transgender escort who is 20 years old. Eddie now asserted that he was merely acting as a good Samaritan and attempting to assist someone, just giving her a ride, you know. Further interrogation by the police revealed that when he picked Nicole up at 4 a.m., she and the children were out of state. He said that he did not know she was transgender when he met her on Santa Monica Boulevard in Los Angeles while looking for something to read.
And I'm not gay, and I'm not, you know, and that's what's weird about this question and your moral fiber question and all that, when all I was doing was trying to be nice to someone.
Eddie Murphy tells E.T. that he went to a late-night newsstand to get something to read while his wife and kids were out of town. At 4:45 a.m., he made a stop here and picked up the alleged T.S. He claims that he believed he was helping a distressed woman.
Looks like a pretty Hawaiian girl in the corner crying. It looks like she was crying. She goes, "Oh, Eddie Murphy." She noticed him at the light. She recognized Eddie Murphy. Oh my God. So I go, "What are you doing? Why are you out here working the streets so late?" She goes, "Oh, I'm on my way home. Can you give me a ride home?"
Before stopping him, police followed them for 2 kilometers. This was around 4 years into his marriage to Nicole Eddie. Furthermore, how likely is it that he picked up the escort as a courtesy? Even though Eddie managed to escape the incident with his image intact, it all surfaced when Octavia Street. Laurent called him out once more. Octavia has always been confident in her identity as a transgender woman and has never held back from expressing her thoughts. Additionally, she clearly called out Eddie Chell by name.
Is being run by perverted undercover fags that run around talking about how straight they are. You got big time celebrities that go around in their cars picking up transvestites, having and then getting on national TV making fun of them. Everything you do in life is like a boomerang. When you throw it, it eventually comes back.
According to reports, Octavia and Eddie dated for a period. She claimed she was not comfortable with Eddie's treatment of the transgender women he had been seeing, implying that he was embarrassed and wished to conceal their relationship.
And the women that they're married to wouldn't believe a word you said about them. And these are the reason why we have to start speaking out. Because these men who are famous or straight or perceived to be these macho guys, they're coming out behind their wives, their children, having oral, being the women behind their women's back.
Although Eddie did not actively interact with Octavia, she had sufficiently piqued interest to start conversations, and there is fire with their smoke. Following Octavia's statement, rumors circulated that Eddie was a notorious chaser, and despite his public denials, many TS women in the industry at the time were rumored to have dated him. A lot of people were offended by his apparent fondness for wearing seductive lingerie behind closed doors, since he would then appear on television and ridicule trans and HS people for being repulsive. Eddie's circle of pals extended beyond S-workers. He also maintained relationships with several of his so-called male business friends, including R&B singer Johnny Gill, with whom he supposedly had regular S encounters. Now, there have long been reports that Eddie and Johnny were dating. When Johnny Gill's ex-girlfriend opened up after a breakup in 2005, she said that she left him because she thought Johnny's connection with Eddie was a little strained. Additionally, she said, "Johnny and Eddie have always been very close friends, but I could not compete with their relationship. It was strange. Can't even explain it." Sources claimed that at the time, Johnny was actually residing in a guest house on Eddie Murphy's land, and they conjectured that Nicole Murphy may have had to leave because she had become weary of putting up with both Eddie and Johnny's peculiar connection. Since it seems there may be some validity to these accusations after all, since a male entertainer who frequently attended Diddy's parties revealed some shocking information. Since Diddy's arrest, a lot of information regarding what transpired behind closed doors in Hollywood has surfaced, and it has not been pleasant. And by asserting that he had witnessed Eddie and Johnny being personal at one of those gatherings, this escort named Flash essentially verified all the gossip that was circulating.
Walking down the stairs, because I was just checking out, it was in the Hollywood Hills, so I was walking down the stairs, and they were kissing at the bottom of the banister, like, and I'm like, damn, the nutty professor really is nutty. like he really is, like, and they were going at it, like, for real, like swallowing tongues.
The fact that there are many DL males in the profession who make an effort to give the impression that they are not makes it difficult to believe this, to be honest. Additionally, Eddie has a lengthy history of battling DL rumors everywhere. People have pointed out that it is no accident that his name has come up several times, despite his attempts to disassociate himself from the claims. Nothing about these celebrities surprises me anymore. One person wrote, nothing surprises me about these black gay men either. Therefore, anything's possible. More power to them both. And then another one actually went there, said another, none of this seems implausible. People just need to be who they are. Who gives a darn? But what do y'all think about this? And were there any rumors you heard about Eddie Murphy from back in the day? Please share your thoughts in comment section below. Goodbye.